everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Kristen and I cannot believe that it is already February of 2022. Valentine's Day is just around the corner and I was thinking about different soaps that I could make for this month. Soaps that revolved around love, and something that I sure do love is my morning cup of coffee. So this is a soap dedicated to all of my fellow caffeine lovers out there. I love making soap out of real drinks. If you haven't seen my Thai tea cold process soap making video that I did last month, be sure to check that one out. I'll link it down below. But enough of the chit chat, let's get to soap making. I've decided to call this soap I Love You A-Latte because I'm just so creative like that. I'm sure no one has ever used this name for a bar of soap ever. For this recipe, I need 6.4 ounces of olive oil, 4.8 ounces of coconut oil, 3.2 ounces of palm, don't laugh at my little setup here, 0.8 ounces of sweet almond oil, and 0.8 ounces of castor oil. I also need 5 ounces of coffee, which you can see here that I froze some freshly brewed coffee this morning made with distilled water and a coffee blend that I cannot think of at the moment. I also need 2.5 ounces of lye and 0.5 ounces of fragrance oil, which I will talk more about later. Alright, starting with our coffee. Like I said, I don't really remember the name of the blend right now, but the coffee is from Sisters, Oregon. There's a coffee house over there that's literally just called Sisters Coffee. My husband and I are from Oregon. We love that coffee shop, and they happen to sell a couple different Sisters blends at one of our local markets, so we always like to pick up some of the freshly ground beans when we go there. I'm excited to be making another coffee cold process soap. I've only made one other before, and it was back when I very first started cold process soap making, which was about 7 months ago. I still haven't really been doing this for very long, but I certainly didn't know what I was doing back when I made that coffee soap, and it was fine, but it had a lot of glycerin rivers that really drove me crazy. And so this time around, I'm just excited to get it right and have it look good. While we're waiting for the palm oil to melt, I thought that we would talk about today's fragrance oil. So I have never really found a coffee fragrance that I truly liked. They always just smell like stale coffee grounds to me. Certainly not really something that I want to wash my body with. So I just decided that I would try to make my own fragrance oil. So basically what I did was I took a cup of sweet almond oil, a 1/4 cup of fresh ground coffee. It was the same Sisters coffee that I'm using for this recipe today. And I just had it on my stove at a low simmer. I also threw in a couple cinnamon sticks, a whole vanilla bean, a whole nutmeg, which I had never seen just a whole nutmeg before. I've only ever seen ground nutmeg, and 1 clove as well. And I just let it simmer on a very low temperature for about 8 hours, turned off the heat, and then let everything set overnight before I drained everything. At this point, it's been a couple weeks since I did that, and I think that the fragrance oil still smells like fresh brewed coffee to me. I'm excited to see how it turns out in this soap, what it does to this soap. I think it helps that I'm making this soap with real coffee and adding coffee grounds as an exfoliant as well. So I'm using 3 different colorants for this soap. For the main portion of the bar, I'm going to be using some brown oxide, which I purchased from Brambleberry. The soap is already going to be pretty brown from the coffee and from the fragrance oil. I know it's going to darken up quite a bit because of the vanilla that I added, but I still just want to add a little bit of brown oxide just to make it a little richer. I'm going to be creating some latte art on top of this soap, and so I want to use titanium dioxide for the foam. And for the sort of brown portion of the foam, I'm going to be using some Sahara Gold from Nurture Soap, a little bit of brown oxide, and some titanium dioxide as well. And I guess we'll just kind of see what this color ends up looking like as we go along. Alright, I'm taking some of our blended oils here and adding them to my colorant cups. Alright, we're at about 89.4 degrees Fahrenheit for the oils, and our coffee here is at about 81.9 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm going to go ahead and pour our coffee lye solution right on in there. Alright, and I just want to blend this to a light trace. I'm going to pour some of this into one of these guys. This is really just going to be for the foam latte art on top. And we'll add in our brown. I'm going to set these guys aside for now. I think now I want to add my coffee grounds. These are coffee grounds that I used to brew the coffee that we used today. I used distilled water to make the coffee, and I made sure that these are completely dry before I set them aside for this. I think I am just going to do half a tablespoon. This is looking really yummy. Alright, and I'm going to add in all the fragrance oil into just this portion because I'm okay with this part of the soap darkening up, getting more brown from the fragrance oil. I don't really want the rest of my batter to turn brown, and I'm out of vanilla color stabilizer at the moment, so I can't really control what happens to those batters right now. Alright, got my little mold here. This is a mold that holds 23.8 ounces of soap. Let's go ahead and pour in our base. Get every little bit scraped out here. Alright, I'm going to set this aside for now. Bring back our other colorants. So the plan here with these guys is to put them in my little squeeze bottles so that I can control the latte art, hopefully. I've done it before with these bottles and it worked out really well. For anyone who's wondering out there, these bottles are just something that I picked up from Michael's in the baking section. The brand, it looks like it's called Sweet Sugar Bell. The tips that they come with are really small, which I like for precision. Okay, I think that my soap is at a consistency where I can shape it a little bit before I pour the next layer on top. I'm just going to, oh yeah, make some nice peaks in here. Now I'm pouring my light foam color over the top. Not to toot my own horn, but this fragrance oil really does smell yummy. It just smells like fresh brewed coffee. Not gonna lie, it looked like my peaks were a little soft, so I might have just ruined them, especially by tapping down. Okay, and then I just want to come in with my lighter color here. I'm going for 4 bars of soap, hopefully. I'm going to tap this down a little bit. Alright, then I'm coming in with my darker foam color. And then I want to do the lighter foam color one more time. Now I just want to come in with a toothpick and go right down the center. I want to make some little hearts out of these guys. Oh. Alright, well, I totally ruined these guys. That was not my intent. They're supposed to be hearts, okay? So I might just take some of my ground coffee here and sprinkle a little bit on top. There we go. That adds a little bit of intrigue, right? Alright, well, not gonna lie. These don't super duper look like hearts. Yeah, it's fine. It's still really good practice for me, and I still think that this is going to turn out better than the first coffee soap that I made, so it is what it is. Alright, I'm going to let this sit for the next 24 hours before we cut into it and see what it looks like on the inside. Well, that is it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think about this soap design down in the comments below. Tell me if you think that the top looks like latte art or not, because I'm genuinely curious and usually pretty hard on myself. And if you're interested in purchasing one of these bars of soap, or you just want to check out my shop in general, I will also have that linked in the description box below. It will take you directly to my website. Thank you guys so much for watching this video today. I always really appreciate the support and feedback. If you're interested in watching me make more soap, I'm going to try to start posting videos every other Wednesday. Wednesdays are going to be my soap making days. Alright, well, I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now!